Hey guys, welcome back to Jomo. So today, continuing our not weekly, but monthly topic, which is what do we learn from blank?
Ta-da-ta.
We're going to talk. Okay, I'm getting off track. So we're going to talk about what do we learn from racing games that we have played personally throughout our lives. And joining me today is Alif.
Would it be? Would it do?
I You've heard about him already. We already talked a lot with him already in this channel. So we're gonna jump straight into it.
So racing games are
Basically, simulators in which you could drive uh, cars that you don't own, basically, in a real life track like Le Mans or Daytona or
Monaco.
Monaco and tracks like that. Or you could also drive in a world that is made from the developers in a real life car, like the Aston Martins, the Ferraris, and the things like that. And basically, the goal of the game is just to simulate what is going on in real life that you watch on TV or in the track. And surprisingly enough, we could actually learn from playing these games, and we could incorporate what we learn with in a real life situation. The first thing that we can learn from racing games is attention to details, because in each racing game there are tuning. Tuning is basically making the car suitable regarding the track, your drive style, or just the overall circumstances of the race. So you can change the settings of the tire pressure, the wings, the roll bars, the cambers, in order to make you feel more comfortable driving the car and also making the car precise in each track. So, for example, I like the settings of my car to be really oversteery so I can just take turns easily. And a real life example of tuning is probably when the F1 calendar race in Mexico, which has one of the longest straights in the calendar, we need they need more top speed, in which they have to change the settings of the wings and probably the tire pressure, and then it will be changed again if they're racing in Monaco, which is a track that really needs a lot of downforce to just take the corners in a really narrow circuit. And how can we incorporate this attention to details in a real life situation? So basically, you could be given a task or a problem in like a group assignment or a project or even an individual assignment. You have to see things in a big picture first, but you have the skill to just see, okay, there's components in this project that I should tackle, and you could see it easily because you've already trained yourself in playing the racing game and tuning. So every little details in your assignment and your project matters a lot in the end product, and you could just use that knowledge and say, okay, in this project I need to do ABC, and you already know you have to do ABC, and which is really a good advantage to just make the end product best it could be.
The second thing that we've learned from the racing game is adaptation. In a race or anything that you do will never go as smooth as silk. There will be challenges along the way, and it may force you to change the way you do tasks. For an example, in a race can happen in any weather circumstances and it may change throughout the race. Even if it's in the game or in real life, it can start in a rainy day and then it'll change to a dry condition in a few laps. The way you adapt to those weather really affects you on the track and how you handle the turns when it's wet, how you overtake in a wet track and you can't see it clearly. In a race, there will be at least a small incident somewhere along the track, whether there's a small debris in the track or an accident happened after a turn. It could be it, and by that, you have to be fast and deft to change your driving style and strategies according to these circumstances. With racing games, you are basically alone. No team, no pit crew, no nothing. You have your own strategy and you have to make that shit yourself, right? That strategy is the method that you're going to use in order to win, and you have to commit to that strategy. Unless it's not working your way or other unforeseen circumstances happen, don't suddenly question your own strats just because you see others doing different things or someone says that it's wrong. And then other strategies during races, you have to make maneuvers which you have to trust yourself and your skills in order to make those maneuvers and gain advantage in the race. Either it's overtaking or defending from an opponent, and sometimes you have to commit to some maneuvers that are high risk. Maybe it can cost your life.
In real life circumstances, commitment means sticking to the goal that you already placed for yourself. And this requires an immense amount of bravery because you have to stick to what you believe and what you want, and you have to just block out everything surrounding the that decision. So all the negativity that will change you, all the opinions, you need to block that out, and you have just to go like, okay, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get there in any way that I can. And in a sense, the biggest enemy in this regard is yourself and your thoughts. So having a trust on yourself is going to help really, really fucking hard, in the sense that when you trust yourself and when you commit to these things, you will probably be able to just get the goal that you have. And sometimes this goal really force you to do something, that you don't really comfortable with. You're not really comfortable in doing certain things, but you need to do it in regards of reaching the goal. So you have to get off your comfort zone, and you have to do things that you're not accustomed to, and that thing that you have to do requires a huge commitment. You need a really high level of commitment and bravery. So I think that is really important, and that is something we could learn from racing games. Alright, guys. So that is the sum of things that we kind of learn from racing games,
Rating.
and that's the things that we kind of also incorporate in our daily lives, especially when we are also students. It's kind of useful to incorporate all that shit. But
And
yes,
you could too.
and you could too. And yes, so leave a like, subscribe, or leave a dislike, and tell us what you don't
Yeah.
like in the comments
Share,
below.
like, subscribe, please.
Yeah, share, like, subscribe, things like that. And I'll see you. No, not I. We will see you
We'll see you in the next one.
next week. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to his channel.
Subscribe to my channel where you can see subtitles.
Yes, and you can also find me on Twitch. Links in the description. Alright, boys.
Twitch.tv/NB Andaru.
Yeah, that. Alright, guys. See you next week.
Bye.